Before modern scams like phishing emails, there were con artists with a flair for the dramatic. These weren't your typical criminals. They were master manipulators, charming strangers into buying the Eiffel Tower, miracle cures, and even false identities. Today we're looking at history's greatest scams and the audacious tricksters who made them famous. Victor Lustig, the man who sold the Eiffel Tower. Let's start with one of history's most brazen swindles, pulled off by Victor Lustig, a man known for his sophisticated scams. It was 1925, and France was struggling to maintain its world-famous monument, the Eiffel Tower. Lustig saw this as the perfect opportunity for a scam of monumental proportions. Using fake government documents, Lustig convinced multiple scrap metal dealers that he was a government official tasked with secretly selling the Eiffel Tower to save Paris the maintenance cost. Lustig pulled out all the stops. He rented a hotel suite, invited his buyers for private meetings, and even made sure to find marks who wouldn't question his authority. But Lustig wasn't done after the first sale. When he realized he could get away with it, he returned weeks later and sold the Eiffel Tower again to a different buyer. Lustig's deception was so seamless. The buyers were too embarrassed to report the scam, fearing public humiliation. And while Lustig didn't get away with every scheme, he famously lived by his own rules for con artists, 10 commandments for con men, guiding each con with strict rules on how to manipulate, charm, and deceive without ever getting caught. Lustig's 10 commandments for con men: 1. Be a patient listener. 2. Never look bored. 3. Agree with the mark's political views. 4. Share the mark's religious views. 5. Suggest sex talk only if the mark is interested. 6. Avoid discussing illness unless the mark brings it up. 7. Don't pry into personal matters. They'll share eventually. 8. Don't boast. Let your importance show quietly. 9. Always be tidy. 10. Never get drunk. Anna Sorokin, the fake heiress of New York City. In recent years, New York City fell for a new kind of scam artist, Anna Sorokin, a young woman who reinvented herself as Anna Delvey, the wealthy German heiress. From 2013 to 2017, she captivated Manhattan's social elite, securing luxurious hotels, elite event invitations, and even private jets, all without a cent to her name. Sorokin presented herself as an ambitious socialite, looking to launch a high-end arts club. She wore designer clothes, stayed in luxurious hotels, and even hired a personal trainer, all without paying a dime. Her charm and daring convinced her friends, and even financial institutions, that she had the funds to back her extravagant lifestyle. Anna swindled friends, investors, and hotels out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. But when her ruse finally unraveled, the world got to see how much she'd taken and how many people she'd duped. Her life of luxury may have been brief, but the fake heiress of New York left a lasting legacy of audacious deception. John R. Brinkley, the goat gland doctor. Next up, we have a doctor who promised nothing short of miracles, though his methods were questionable to say the least. Dr. John R. Brinkley rose to fame in the 1920s, claiming to cure male virility issues by surgically implanting goat testicles in humans. Yes, you heard that right. After starting his practice in rural Kansas, Brinkley used radio to reach new audiences, advertising his bizarre treatment far and wide. His fame and fortune grew quickly, with patients coming from all over to receive his so-called miracle cure. At one point, he was making the equivalent of millions of dollars in today's money. Unfortunately, Brinkley's methods weren't just ineffective, they were dangerous. The procedure led to numerous health complications and even deaths. Eventually, the American Medical Association labeled him a charlatan, but not before he'd amassed a small fortune and even tried running for governor. Princess Caribou, the royal fraud, from Javasu. In 1817, a young woman with a mysterious language and royal appearance appeared in a small English village, claiming to be Princess Caribou of the exotic island of Javasu. The villagers were captivated, and soon enough, local aristocrats welcomed her as a foreign royal. Her real name was Mary Baker, and she was far from a princess. Baker had invented her language and background, adopting an elaborate costume and mannerisms to pass as royalty. English newspapers soon picked up the story, making her a sensation, and she was invited to stay in local manor houses and dine with high society. Princess Caribou's act lasted for months, until a former landlord recognized her and exposed her scam. Though her story ended in public humiliation, she was remembered for her creativity and charisma, fooling a nation into believing a commoner was truly a royal. Frank Abagnale, catch me if you can. Frank Abagnale may be one of the most famous con artists of the 20th century, known for impersonating an airline pilot, a lawyer, and a doctor, all before he turned 21. From 1965 to 1970, his audacious schemes took him around the world, with each new identity adding to his legend. Using his skills in forgery, Abagnale created counterfeit checks and IDs, pretending to be a Pan Am pilot to fly for free around the world. As a young man with confidence and charisma, he managed to convince countless people that he was who he said he was, including patients, clients, and bank managers. After a years-long game of cat and mouse with the FBI, he was finally captured and sentenced to prison. But in a remarkable twist, Abagnale went on to work with the FBI, helping to prevent the very kind of fraud he once committed. Charles Ponzi, the man behind the scheme. The term Ponzi scheme is used widely today, but it all started with one man, Charles Ponzi. In 1920, arriving in America as an Italian immigrant, Ponzi concocted a plan to make quick cash by promising investors high returns through the trade of international postal coupons. In reality, Ponzi was simply taking money from new investors to pay off older ones, creating a cycle that only worked as long as new money kept flowing in. At the height of his scheme, he was taking in millions and paying out double-digit returns, keeping Boston buzzing with excitement. From fake princesses to false miracles, con artists have shaped history in unique ways. They've fooled nations, dazzled high society, and tricked even the most skeptical among us. While their acts left countless victims in their wake, their stories continue to captivate us, reminding us of humanity's incredible, sometimes dangerous, creativity. Thanks for watching, and remember, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from history. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you next time.